So I actually think I got to permaculture because of the growing food, but it quickly transitioned to this bigger picture. And what happened is, and a lot of people that have heard me before know this story, and I sometimes get emotional, which is what brought me here. When I was in high school, we had the opportunity to travel to France. And it was a trip that we had been talking for many years. And so some of my French friends would talk about this thing called foie gras. And I wouldn't know what it was, but it seemed to be something really important to try if I would go to France. And they would say it was amazing. So when I finally got to France, I was always like, when am I gonna try foie gras? Who's gonna give me some? I knew it was expensive food, so I was looking forward to it. After like 2 or 3 weeks with my exchange family, they finally did a dinner with a lot of different foie gras. And I'm like, great. This is like 50% of the reasons I came here to try this damn foie gras. So let's do it. And I went to the table. I'm super excited. I start taking the bread and spread, and I like to mix everything. So I just put all the types of foie gras, all the types of cheese, everything in the same piece of bread. And I go and I bite it, and it tasted so bad, but so bad. And I was like, really, I was so disappointed. So I put it down, or I finished, I don't remember. And then I'm like, maybe this is one of those ingredients that you don't want to mix with others. So let's just try one regular piece of bread with just one type of foie gras. It also tastes bad. So then I went to the pink one, to the yellow one, the black one, the gray one, the white one, all of them, and they all tasted so bad with cheese, without cheese, just a spoonful of foie gras. And no, it was even worse. And I was so disappointed because that was like a big reason at that time in high school that I was so excited to go, that people had talked so much and had created so much expectation. And it sucked. So then some years later, I'm in university and I'm thinking, I wonder what foie gras is made of. And at this point, I'm a DIYer, so I'm always looking for tutorials, how to, whatever. So I'm like, I know, I can just look for the recipe. And I went to YouTube and I'm like, how to make foie gras. And I thought I was gonna find an old lady in a red and white tiled kitchen, putting ingredients in a pot, and they would take something, put it in, and I would be like, that that ingredient is what messes up everything. So I'm gonna reproduce it without the ingredient, and it's gonna be great, and I'm gonna actually have a good foie gras that I made myself. John, first time I look for a tutorial, starting with how to make something, I didn't find what I was expecting at all. There was no lady, there was no red and white tiles, there was no kitchen. There was a guy holding something that I would call like a pressure washer, but it would like shoot corn. I don't know, corn, grinded corn. But they would have a bunch of ducks in awful places. It looked like a jail, like an underground jail with like low light. And the guy looked like evil. And he would take the ducks and just push this like long kind of gun thing into their throats and just push it. And you would see how their bellies would like grow, and they would just walk like with their necks broken, because foie gras means fat liver in French. And this was very shocking for me because I knew at that time that there was war and that people would kill other people, but it just seemed so far away. I didn't understand. And seeing it in the screen of my computer with something I had eaten just brought it so close to me. And I said, I don't want to be part of this. I guess I've had a privileged life, but I mostly have loving people around me that the worst things they would do would be like throwing a phone against the wall when they were really angry, or throw a door, but not treat life like this. My sister is walking by. I'm in my desk and I'm crying. And she tells me, why are you crying? And I tell her, because look, like what they do with dogs, whatever. She goes like, oh, you didn't know. It's the same for all the animals. And she just walks away. And I'm like, what? And I start putting on the computer how meat is produced, how bacon is produced, how tuna is produced. And I start learning about all this violence across a bunch of food I was eating. So then I spent the next 3 or 4 months watching every single documentary I could find, and the food industry, the meat industry took me to other industries. And it was so much information, but I'm this intense. If I'm going to learn about something and it's important for me, I'm just going to go all the way. And I think I watched at least 70 documentaries through those 3 months. And we used to have movie nights with my friends at high school where we would just watch random Disney movies. And I was like, oh, I have a chance to use my platform. They trust me because they always come to my house to watch things. I'm going to do a documentary night. I'm like, I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to tell people, I want them to have a choice to say, I don't want to receive this information, or I'm going to take it and do something about it. And actually, from all those 8 friends that from high school, we went to that documentary night, I think 80% of them are still vegetarian today. And that was more than 12 years ago.